Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We're not live. We are taping on a Friday evening. Something different. We're mixing things up. It's time to shake things up. But you're seeing this the week of February 19th.
I feel sorry for you, folks. I really feel sorry for you if you're seeing that.
Styling and profiling here, ladies and gentlemen. The man to my left, Dangerous Dan. Are you going to get dangerous tonight?
You bet your life.
Your life, you bet. And here we have the great Professor Bill Thompson.
Thank you, kind sir.
Awesome.
Awesome. Stop sucking up.
Great to have you back.
I'm slightly under the weather, but I am here.
You're here.
I knew Dan missed me so much, so I had to come and make sure Dan felt better about things.
Well, I did. I needed someone who could hold the conversation on an equal intelligence level, although yours is a little higher than mine.
Mine is a lot higher.
There's,
I think he's the smartest guy in the room. I'll admit
That's it, yeah. You're the best looking one in the room, though. Dan, sorry, I got nothing for you.
Your life, you
I got
bet.
the best spot in the room.
There you go.
Your life, you bet.
What do we got today?
We got a lot going on. We got footage from Pioneer Valley Old School Night at the Eastfield Mall.
Yeah.
You missed out.
I missed out. I heard that was a good night, and I saw some clips and some video, and there was definitely some old school stuff there. There was a few surprises, too, wasn't there?
There was a few surprises. There was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, but I've got to say, in my estimations, that was the highest attendance level for a PvP show yet.
Really?
I mean, I could be wrong, but...
Well, they did that in Eastfield Mall, right?
Yes.
In the old Macy's building?
In the old Macy's building, in the Eastfield Mall.
Excuse me.
I mean, maybe you can pick up on some of the crowd shots, I don't know, from my footage, but it was jam-packed.
Yeah, well, it looked pretty packed, yeah. And I saw Ricky Steamboat giving somebody a chop.
Mm-hmm. And, my hat's off to the staff. Hammer Tunis and the staff at Pioneer Valley Pro Wrestling.
Always. I've been to a few shows. I don't get to as many shows for PvP as I want, but the few I've been to, always a good time, and I'm glad we still got a lot of promotions right now that are really just kind of have been around for a few years. The PvPs, the Blitzkriegs, of course we got
PAPW, but we have before we get to our footage, we have an announcement to make.
Oh, we do.
Right. We are picking up another wrestling company to film. They have
How did that come about? I wonder.
I don't know. Some guy that's reffing. This would be our tomorrow.
Yes.
Not your tomorrow, but our tomorrow. As in tomorrow.
Yeah, because now everybody's really confused. I think you should just tell them who it is.
Battlefront Pro Wrestling.
Yep.
Right.
Going to be up out of, Ludlow in the Elks Lodge there. Would be Saturday the 17th.
Saturday the 17th. That would make today the 16th.
That's what it would do. And, the promoter is who?
Dan.
Yes.
Necromancer.
Yes.
Gore.
There you go. And I'm glad you said that because I got a little bit of Dayquil in me, so I don't think I could quite get that out.
Yeah, I guess he's a gentleman that's known throughout the circuit.
Yeah, I guess so. I've seen quite a bit about it. I've actually had the pleasure of texting back and forth, and we were able to get I will be there in my ring attire as a referee.
Right.
But I also be pulling some double duty because I'll be helping you guys out, too.
We will be there. In spite of the inclement weather on the way back.
Yeah. And when was that? When was the last time that stopped us?
Well, it almost stopped me a few weeks back, but you know what?
Yeah.
You do what you gotta do.
Yes.
You suck it up.
Yeah, and
you get out there with the camera and you point it at the ring and you do it.
You do what you got to do. So he's got some well-known people on there from the area working on that card. So I'm excited. I know, and I don't want to take anything you might have away, but I know you got the Pyramids of Power going to be there. I know you got Marcel Williams will be there. Marco will be there. The spectacular JC, who's wrestled. Every single one of these folks is is in and out.
Does that mean Tequila Rose will be there too?
More than likely, Tequila Rose will be there.
Right.
So it's got a lot of people on there. That's just the people on the poster, because you always know there's always somebody who comes in, and there's always maybe a surprise here or there. So looking forward. That'll be my first show outside of PAPW. So excited about that, and that'll be the first time that we're doing video for them. So
it's the first time we're doing video for them. It's the first time they're running.
Yeah, so it's it'll be a good show, and I'm sure we'll have some good stuff from there, and kind of that's it. So
and I'll be a milky white ghost by the time I get back.
I'm sure you will.
But hey, anything for the audience.
Anything for
anything for the viewers, anything to support, protect, and defend indie wrestling.
So what else do we have going? It's been an exciting month of we are in February, although it's been a very short time. It's been more than a few weeks since I've been here.
Yeah. I mean, the circuit got a little slow around the holidays and towards the beginning of the year, but it's really seriously picked up.
Yeah. We've gotten. Excuse me. Had a busy few weeks, more than a few weeks, at the PAPW arena, as we call it now.
Right.
Because we have been introduced with the Friday Night Alley fights. So that has gone over quite well, as you have seen. I think we're averaging, about 60, 65 people packed in there. I was lucky enough to talk to a few people, Marcel Williams and Showtime, and Nick Payne from HOP.
Right.
And,
House of Pain.
Yeah, and if you haven't been to that show yet, first of all, you can't beat the price. It's $5 to get in.
Right.
And it has a very, very Georgia Championship Wrestling kind of feel about it.
Yeah, maybe on a slightly smaller scale. But,
yes.
Right.
The studio's a slightly smaller, but you get that very intimate kind of group.
Right.
You're really, the action is right on top of you. There's a lot of different talent that comes in there. That's where you get that feel, because the old Georgia Championship Wrestling shows, you would get these people coming from different areas, and they'd work there. Maybe they worked at the Omni the next night, or somewhere else in Marietta. But now it's with the way that it's being done there, it's like you got the opportunity to see some different people, but you just don't know when they may be on the what we would call the bigger cards, where we're at Melillo, or the East Haven Ice Rink,
right,
or the high school. So yeah, there's a lot of buzz about that, and I've refereed every show, and it's a hot show, hot ticket.
Definitely, yeah. I know Dan. The PWA crew seems to be floating into those Friday night fights now.
Indeed, they do.
It's good to see them always. Damien
Darko's been there.
Hippy Dicky Moon.
What do I call him? Hippy Dicky Moon.
Hippy Dicky Moon.
Hey, I got his T-shirt, so he's got to be good. Yeah, you have Sammy Diaz has been there. Crowd favorite, gets a big pop when he comes out.
Up and comer. He's fairly new, but he's
Sebastian Cage.
Right.
Has been there. We actually had the last matches. We had Bo from Slick Wagner Brown School.
Bo Douglas.
Right. Not to be confused with Bo Dallas.
No, Bo Douglas.
Tremendous competitor, a little aggressive in the ring. Yelled at me a few times. He hurt my feelings, but he didn't apologize.
Yeah, we saw him on the show that our girlfriends, the Sea Stars, ran back in June.
You and the Sea Stars.
Me and the Sea Stars.
Of course, anybody familiar with the school ran by SWB Slick Wagner Brown, or having seen his work in the ring at other shows such as New England Championship Wrestling, know that he himself has the goods. He can bring it. Anybody who's been to one of his seminars, such as a good friend of ours, is affiliated with him.
You going to tell us that person's name, or do we have to guess?
This week, I'm going to make a guess.
Good, good. Yeah, he just opened up, not just opened up, but fairly recently, in the last 2 or 3 months, he opened up a new school change in West Hartford. Mm-hmm. And so I've been to one show there. He does his shows training days.
Right.
He
He usually runs them on Sunday afternoons, and I'm in business meetings.
You're
all
still
day.
sobering up at that point?
Oh, I'm in business meetings.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what, though? I found it's one of those things that if you just kind of say to yourself, I'm going to put the time away to go, then you just go. And the show I went to, I liked a lot. Yeah, if you get a chance to go look at Test of Strength, like them on Facebook, Instagram, you can get all the information. And they run fairly consistently, too. So,
Right.
And there's it's a good show. And you get to see people that you might not see other places. But it seems like everybody's kind of filtering out between all these different promotions now in the Connecticut area up into those Massachusetts, Rhode Island areas. So really, if you're in this whole metro New England kind of area, you're getting to see a lot of good talent, some of the same talent, but you're getting to see them work different promotions. So it's actually pretty damn good.
Right. It's good when different promotions can exchange talent like that. Everybody working together.
That's what we do.
Right. That's what we do. But in any event, also coming up for PAPW Thrillo at Malillo.
Yes.
There's a lot of things going on with PAPW. They have a new champion. They
Yes.
have a new United States champion.
Yeah. A lot of new champions. Would you care to say who the new champions are?
We have the American Communist Jack Sisko.
Jack Sisko, who, based on some older footage, appears to have cheated slightly to gain that title.
Right.
As a referee, you can't see everything.
Right.
But the match is the match, and the title is where the title is now. So I'm sure Sergeant Murray will be aggressively training, from what I know. And he will get that title back. I think he's very, very motivated.
Right.
We also had who's the other change?
Well, the other change, of course, is the PAPW World Championship itself.
Excuse me. The what championship?
The World Championship.
Thank you.
Right.
Enter name?
The Richard Halliday, unfortunately for him, lost the PAPW World Heavyweight Championship.
Yep.
To Marcel Williams, who won a great match. We actually
What kind of match?
a great, extraordinary, competitive match where he earned an opportunity.
An opportunity.
Right. Kind of like a Money in the Bank without the briefcase. Best way to describe it.
Yes, I was privy to
Right.
that gauntlet match. I was
Right.
privileged to referee that. It was pretty exciting. I was tired after that match, I'll tell you.
Was it more difficult with all those competitors in the ring? Or
It was difficult in the sense where you weren't sure who was coming in.
Right.
You had your first two that started, and once one of the pins took place, you're kind of thinking, hey, I'm up, I'm ready, and then you're looking around, and it's like you're not sure which one of these guys is going to come in. So I was a little bit not at a disadvantage, but was a little bit like, all right, who's next? And then somebody jumps in, so we got to be ready to go. So the match seemed to have lasted quite a bit. Marcel Williams did come out on top, did defeat Zachariah Gibbs.
Right.
And so, there's a lot of different things. He wrestled. He was smart about it. After you go back and you look at the matches, he definitely did what he needed to do to win. And then he cashed it all in at that
Right.
night.
Richard Halliday had a great match.
Which is, I'm sure you'll agree, Bill, all great champions do what they must do to win.
At the end of the day, it's about the W.
Exactly.
I think somebody said, I'm not sure if it was Kenneth Patera, but I seem to remember, win if you can, lose if you must, but always, always cheat.
Always cheat.
So, sometimes, I guess at the end of the day is if you have the belt and you won it, and that's the decision at that time, most of the time they're going to uphold that, and you have to figure out a way to get it back.
Right. And Richard Holiday had a great match with Nick Drake.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. A big, huge guy.
Oh, yes.
Inflicted a lot of punishment.
So he was already tired at that point.
Yeah, on Richard Holiday, was a great match. It really was a great match, which, I don't think I've ever seen a Richard Holiday match that wasn't that good. And unfortunately, sometimes the planets align a certain way, and you're expecting one thing, and after a grueling match, how many times have we seen it? Where there's a grueling match and Money in the Bank, someone cashes in, whatever they do, and he took advantage of it, and at the end of the day, Marcel Williams is the champion, and I'm sure Richard Holiday is,
He's looking to get it back.
Hey, as he says, the consumers are buzzing.
Well, that's because around Richard Holiday, there's a bunch of flies.
Hey, let's keep it
But the
professional here.
But the champ is the champ.
The champ is the champ.
The champ is the champion. It's a new beginning.
Yep. Well, Holiday had a great run, and listen, I'm sure he's recalculating and retooling, and will be aggressively seeking that back. But it is what it is for now. So hey, listen, there's going to be a ton of opportunity. There's a lot of we have a lot of great shows coming up. Just in March, there's two. You mentioned Malillo,
Right.
but we also have 2 Friday night fights that month. So it's very, very. We're very active. And
In March, there's going to be plenty of Friday night fights too, as well, right?
What's that?
Plenty of Friday night.
Yeah,
fights.
March we have the 2nd, I believe, is March 2nd, and then March 16th, and then the 24th is Malillo.
The 24th is below.
Yeah, but we do have a really big announcement that some of the fans might not be aware of, but PAPW is going big time.
Yeah, they're taking a gamble.
Big time. PAPW will be at the Mohegan Sun, April 21st. And we will be in one of their main rooms, and we will be putting on a show. And
At the ballroom, right?
At the ballroom, and it is going to be a huge show. And I believe it's called All or Nothing, and I think it's gonna have a pretty good card. I've only heard some rumors, but I know I'll be there. But it's going to be a big card, and we are selling tickets. I think you can get those at any of the Friday night fights, any of the Malillo show.
Yep.
And it's just going to be a very hot show. And plus, you get to go to the show, and you could gamble before.
Right.
Go recuperate because
or you can gamble after
and lost your money,
right.
and recalculate, and then go back out after the show and either drink yourself because you want to be able to, kind of go, hey, woe is me, or go get your money back. But you're going to have all that enthusiasm going because you're going to see an amazing show. And I think a lot of good things are coming up, and it'll be interesting to see.
Definitely. We ready for the footage?
Go right ahead.
Let's do it.
Oh, am I hitting this button here?
Yes.
What am I doing?
You're going to hit play.
And that would be which one?
Don't know.
Hey, I'm just a pretty face. Now we have, wow, looks like a pretty good setup there, huh? Wow. Who is this, Jay?
That is Smart Mark Sterling.
Now, is this on the main floor?
This is on, there's only one floor.
Oh, good. Now, was there nice carpeting there? Or was that a hard floor?
It was a hard floor.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The old Macy's. There he is, Smart Mark Sterling.
And who do we have as the ring announcer?
The ring announcer, of course, is Matthew James.
Can literally make eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich sound exciting.
Could. He could.
Do you concur?
I concur.
Then we have seen some interesting footage of that gentleman over the past year.
Oh, yes. There's Zachary Pierre-Boileau.
Frickin' Canadians.
Hey,
I don't
now.
think he's Canadian. I think he's French.
And they're all frogs.
French Canadian.
French
Wow,
Canadian.
what a suplex there. Whoa. Really, a lot of action outside the ring, you know? Who is the referee for this? I always like to give the referees a shout out, but I can't see his face and or his head.
Nice work, Hollywood.
Look at that crowd shot.
Now, let me ask you, since this was in a mall, was the front doors open? So were, like, people from the mall shopping, coming by?
They couldn't see it this time. The last time they could.
But there was also the autograph signing outside of this
Okay.
venue.
Right.
Yeah, from what I understand, it was right outside the customer service area?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, that's a nice floor there.
Mm-hmm.
And our
You hit that, forget it.
I know. Very painful.
Our good friend Tom Burke was at this show. It was always good to see Tom. A very knowledgeable gentleman.
We got a near pin there. Taking the man to the corner, into the turnbuckle. I'll tell you, that's got to hurt. Is that Vinnie Lax?
I believe it is.
Using the proverbial foreign object. So I'm presuming this is a no holds bar.
Oh, no holds barred.
Okay.
Anything goes. Almost like a street fight. Kind of.
A French street fight.
Hmm.
A lot of creme brulee and
Right.
crepes being thrown at each other.
Right, exactly.
Why would
Vichyssoise. Nice drop kick
Nice.
from
why
the
would
top
anybody
rope.
want to watch a frog wrestle? Come on.
Right. Fast forward a little bit into the match.
Yep. Going to the top rope. Trying to get him out of there.
Yeah, I think this referee's a little lazy.
Um,
I've seen better referees, and Bill, that does include you.
I'm going to tell you that until you are in there, it's not as easy as it looks. And I'll be honest with you, Vinnie Lax is one of the premier referees in the area. So a lot of kudos to him. He's been doing it for a number of years. I've watched him. You also have Kevin Quinn, who, if you don't know him, really great guy. And has been very, very good with me in regards to questions I may have. So nice pile driver there, down for the count, too. He's got a... I don't know, you throw his arm up there? Nope, he's got two. And that's pretty close. You have to remember that sometimes being in the ring, you're counting, and it's really a split second where somebody throws that shoulder up, and you cannot. Sometimes it's almost impossible to stop your arm. So you got to really be on your game and make sure that the crowd understands that was a 2 count, that the person did throw their shoulder up, and make sure the match continues. Because what you could potentially do, as you've seen baseball umpires do it in the past, is where if they blow a call, you could cost somebody a match or their championship.
Right.
And so you have to be very, very cognizant of what goes on. So here, he's lining up the chairs, which I'll be quite honest with you, it's never a good thing. Unless
somebody's going through the chairs.
Somebody is going to be thrown on those chairs. And it's funny, you mentioned Richard Holiday, and the gentleman in the crowd sitting there is wearing a Richard Holiday T-shirt. So even when Richard Holiday's not in front of you, he's in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's just going to be a pile driver on the chairs, which...
you have to wait and see.
It was good. Look at it. He got a nice little tap to the head there, just enough to get him off. And now he's fighting the suplex. A couple of nice back elbows into a possible suplex. And, you just see these guys do not want to be hitting the chairs. And there is a low blow. Any other match, you would have been disqualified.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go on top of the chairs. And that does not feel well.
So seeing as he threw him up in the air and into the chairs, is that a higher education?
Yes. Again, the referee doing a good job getting the chairs out of there. You also have to look at the safety aspect, too, is like you potentially as a referee can get hurt in there, too, with those chairs.
Safety first, always.
That's what I'm thinking. Who is this?
That is Johnny Torres.
Johnny Torres?
Director Johnny Torres.
Really?
Yes.
The man, the myth, the legend.
As we seemingly have a new outfit with Johnny Torres, Perry Von Vicious.
Oh, Perry Von Vicious.
And Smart Mark Sterling.
That Perry Von Vicious. And what do they call themselves?
I have no idea what they're calling themselves yet, but they named Johnny Torres a director.
Oh, really?
And he's directing a chair to...
He's the chairman of the
Zachary
board.
Kiribalu's throat right now.
Attaboy, get him.
And this is where, you're trying to really maintain order in there.
Mm-hmm.
And, I give it
Have you been faced with a situation like this yet?
Yeah, you have. I have. At least two. And one at a recent Friday Night Alley fights. And, someone swinging a chair, you have to realize there's only so much you can do. And then what you hope is somebody comes out and helps the gentleman or the young lady involved in the match. But here, there's really not much he can do at that point. He's just keep on having them ring the bell in the hope that eventually they just give up. I mean, you could get in between it, but there's the potential for you to get hurt also.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, that was all started because Zachary Pierre Ballou said something to Johnny Torres.
Well, apparently he must have said something.
What did he say?
You missed it? Hollywood.
I'm just filming. I'm not paying attention to what people are saying.
Speaking of not paying attention to what people are saying, that brings up an interesting subject. Shall we approach it at this particular moment?
I think we should continue to watch.
Continue on with the footage.
Yes. Now, see,
there's other matches here we have to get to.
This is what Vinny, is really able to do is just call in for some assistance.
Now, this is an interesting match here.
I saw some footage here, and I'm not going to say anything.
For the PvP Tag Team Championship.
Now, who is this guy in the mask?
El Tostito Grande.
I'm going to say something. He looks vaguely familiar.
Well, you see this match for the PvP Tag Team Championship. You see that gentleman over there, Alex Cipher?
Yes.
He represents the Massachusetts State Athletic Commission. He is been at PvP events as of late, just monitoring things and, making sure they're being compliant, with their safety and their rules.
Just monitoring?
Right, he's
He
monitoring.
has been riding the poor sexy Jesus and his counterparts more than a train going down the railroad, brother.
Due to an incident that occurred at the last PvP event back in Hadley, Brad Hollister has been suspended for 90 days.
90.
Pursuant to the Massachusetts State Athletic Commission. He went through an appeals process and had a hearing, and unfortunately was denied.
Really?
Right.
And do you think that's fair? The last event, poor Brad Hollister trips over his feet, accidentally touches the ref. Relax, bro. I ain't going to hit you. And the man gets sidelined for 90 days. Do you think that's fair?
I wasn't at the hearing. I just the man with the camera there, Dangerous Dan. I do what I do, and that's it.
That's it. Sometimes as a journalist, you got to kind of sit back and just let things go.
We had Alex Cipher call into this broadcast a few weeks ago and explain his positions, and
Now,
made a compelling argument.
Who is this team? The Lockup.
The Lockup. They are with H2O Ryan Waters.
Uh-huh.
Let me give you some stats on them.
They are the current Pioneer Valley wrestling champions.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Give us a moment.
And Sexy Jesus was one of the prior championships who they took the belt from.
Now, did they win the belts, or were they somehow stripped or taken away?
The Lockup
Cheated.
won whatever way they did the Pioneer Valley Tag Team Championship.
Okay.
It's just
Now,
I see we're trying to get the match started here.
but when your name is the Lockup, doesn't that just sound like you're the heels, the rebel rousers,
that's the
Rebel
Lockup
guys.
Rebel
Wrestling
Rousers.
School. It's this H2O Ryan Waters and DL Hurst. I'm not at liberty to say what
Well, I think
the
they.
ending of this match was yet. You just have to.
Looks like our cameraman was like getting kicked around or something. Today's word, tripod.
Right. There's no where to really place a small tripod such as that.
So we got Sexy Jesus,
So please excuse the shaky cam. We have Sexy Jesus.
Hammer Tunis with what's his name again?
I believe that is not Ryan Waters. That must be DL Hurst. Because Ryan Waters is not in the ring right now. That is DL Hurst.
Got it.
Right. Somebody I've never seen before with the Lockup. Always lose to Nico Silva. Something different. Maybe it's like a Freebird rule.
Well, it just shows you the depth of the Lockup.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like the closers have become a fan favorite.
They have. Over recent cards, recent events. Right.
And they're not just wrestling at PvP. They're actually wrestling at Blitzkrieg. They're wrestling
Top rope.
Top Rope. I think they also do NEW also. So it's kind of interesting how much their travel must be like, really.
They are spreading the word of Sexy Jesus and testifying when they make their presence.
The crowd is chanting. They want someone.
Mm-hmm.
So looks like we skipped up some footage, but up a nice suplex there, and to the turnbuckle, coming in maybe for a big
There's
elbow.
Ryan Waters. Yep.
There
Down.
you go. For a
There
nice.
we go.
There you go.
But I don't know much about this El Tostito Grande.
You keep on saying that. I'm going to get hungry. Clearly, I'm hungry already,
Right.
and I want Tostitos with chips and salsa.
Well, I'm not going to Sukasa after this, unfortunately.
Oh, boy.
And Margaritas in Brantford closed down.
Sometimes there's no justice in the world. But back to the match here.
Back to the match. We digress.
Hammer Tunis to the corner. Referee signaling the tag there, pointing that the other opponent needs to get out. Now you got a 5 count here, and the smart teams will use that 5 count up until almost 4.5, and then they get out of the ring because they know they could get disqualified. Getting them out of the corner. Now, see, here's the other thing: is a lot of times what happens is you end up getting distracted. And there's a very fine line because you can be distracted, and someone, team partner, could really break the rules and sometimes bend them into a pretzel. But the refs trying to keep trying to keep law and order in there, and sometimes it's just not that easy. So again, Hammer Tunis in the corner taking a boot to the face, which is
So an interesting word. Bill, you said they could get disqualified?
They could.
So does the phrase "could" denote any impartiality upon the referee?
No. Nice back suplex. It could get you disqualified. Basically what it comes down to. If you decide to disqualify a team for not following, and you get to 5 and they're still choking the person, and you're telling them to get off, and then you could ring the bell and disqualify them. Most teams are going to break by the 5, no matter what they're doing, because they know they could get disqualified. Usually by that time, someone has lost control of themselves, and you're like, hey, you could count to 20 and it's not going to matter. So here, nice back suplex here, and looks like
So Tostito Grande is...
Mr. Tostito, I'll call him, or El Grande. He is waiting patiently, and I don't know. You got a tag here, referee signaling tag, and now here we go. This should be interesting because I've never seen this guy before, although apparently he likes a headbutt. Nice clothesline, another clothesline, big clothesline, back elbow, and a little bit of a lucha move there. So, apparently Hammer Tunis has picked up a very good partner, but you did get a nice kick to the face there. Flying forearm to the cover. And you got a 2 count there. So, and wow, what strength into a power slam. That is a big move there. So here is where, things get a little difficult. And this is where you can lose a lot of headbutt again. Reminds me a little bit, if you look at him, the Superstar.
The Masked Superstar?
The Masked Superstar. Now, look at him. He's got him up for a nice power slam. Oh! Looks like maybe there's a little bit of miscommunication here, but right into a power bomb. 3 count. New champions.
Wait.
Is that Joan Robinson?
That's it. That is.
Just a very nice person. Jay, by the look on your face, which the people cannot see, because we were watching the video, I think something's going on here. There's going to be some, as someone would say, some shenanigans.
Somebody is not too happy with what just transpired.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and they may think they have just won the tag belts, but they did not really.
Oh, wait a minute. Did somebody's mask come off?
Somebody's mask came off.
Oh, boy. Well, there you go. Yeah, that's not going to be... that's when you put somebody in a bad position. You're going to leave that mask on. Who is that?
Brad Hollister.
Oh.
He's there anyway. He was masquerading as this El Tostito Grande or whatever.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little better to be just continue to be sneaky and coy.
Would have been better off just staying behind the scenes.
Uh-oh. So let's see what happens here.
No contest.
No contest.
Is what it is.
What a shame.
Right. Alex Cypher just threw this match out, and the Lockup are still the tag champions.
Now let's see what we got going here.
Here we go. This is the moment that everybody in Massachusetts has been waiting for.
Well, except for me. We've all been waiting for quietness.
I don't know. Apparently they're experiencing technical difficulty.
Here's always the crowd favorite. 2/3 of the East Coast Bastard crew, Jeremy Leary and Skylar, the Queen of the Cove.
So you have Jimmy Leary and Skylar here. Did you have the other half of the East Coast Bachelor crew, Mr. Gomes?
No.
I would like Matthew James to do the my voicemail message.
You should have him do that. Originally, this started out as a singles bout, what you're about to witness, because somebody was not there yet. Which ended up becoming a mixed tag match.
Uh-huh. The plot thickens.
And of course, we have, as he would deem himself, the best hair in wrestling.
Right.
Well, I gotta say, he's got good hair. And his opponent is, or their opponent is.
It is time for Pioneer Valley Pro Wrestling.
Shh.
The chump sucker himself, who's not the champ anymore. Hollywood.
He's not the champion up here, neither.
I think PvP just became more marketable.
It did. With a record-breaking crowd.
I think they were all there to see him.
I think so.
I think that's why that
Well,
place
now
was so.
I disagree. I did have two fans come up
Now, apparently, we've gone to old school.
and ask me
Mm-hmm.
for my autograph. You didn't have that, did you, Hollywood?
In old school nights, we'll do it black and white.
Now, Skyla is battling who?
Davey Ann.
And she's the darling?
She is not America's sweetheart.
Okay.
She is the current reigning, defending.
Wow, she just slapped
PvP
Leary right in the
women's
face. His
champion.
hair doesn't look good now.
And now, the match that was supposed to happen originally. Leary and Skylar versus Richard Holiday and Davey Ann.
I'm so confused right now. So did Richard Holiday not win?
Hold on.
Oh, here we go. The plot thickens.
Just hold on.
Now, Hollywood. I have to ask you, this is PvP, of course.
Mm-hmm.
The night that Mr. Holiday lost his title, his PAPWA championship,
Right.
many people say that you were with him, and you have
Talk to the gentleman all night.
you have yet to produce the ending of that championship match. Can you reveal to us now where it is, or why you were spending so much time with him?
I was not spending any time with him.
Yeah, see, this is where it gets interesting because you got Holiday giving the referee a hard time. I've been in the ring with him. He can be a little tough. He has a very high expectation, and he is a. He's got that kind of mojo that Ric Flair had. And I could see this being a very, very good second match at the rate we're going. Looks like it.
Old school photography. Old school videography there.
There you go. Okay, going in for the pin. You get a 2 count. Oh, nice tag. Very smart, savvy wrestling by Mr. Holiday. His friends let him call him Richard.
Oh.
Yeah.
To everybody else, he's just Mr. Holiday.
Well, I'll be honest with you. You have to be very impartial in the ring. He's always cordial, but still, you have to be very, very, very cognizant of what advantages people are trying to get, even when you're not in the ring. So, as a referee, you have to be very impartial. But, so far, and I know we have we have the video clips here, but so far it looks like it was probably a little bit of a chaotic first appearance for Richard Holiday.
He made an impact. He made an impact in this match. He made an impact in another match. So I'll have to obtain it and maybe air it. Next time at the Eastfield Mall will be April 16th. And let's just put it to you this way. Richard Holiday will be vying for the Top Rope Promotions Championship at Pioneer Valley.
Top Rope?
Yes.
At Pioneer Valley.
Right.
It's kind of interesting how that works out.
Right.
It's clothesline by Jeremy Leary. Always impressive, Skyler.
Always impressive.
And has, since I think, maybe 2 years ago we saw her debut.
Mm-hmm.
Continues to impress.
Just as an interviewer.
I think she gets better with every match, and
right.
The crowd is a big supporter.
Right.
And I think they see that she has progressed into a fine wrestler. There are a lot of titles out there. I could see her winning, if not just one, maybe 2 or 3.
Oh, absolutely.
You just never know.
Any company that has a women's championship.
And just literally was on the top turnbuckle and did a flying somersault onto Holiday and his companion there, and just took them out. So. A daredevil, she is.
Oh, she is. She's a very, very high risk taker.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are a lot of titles out there, such as that PAPW Championship title.
This Davey Ann, though, I mean, what do you make of her? She's
what a move right here.
Davey Ann doesn't back up. She takes no
No prisoners.
No prisoners?
She's got her. She's got her tapping.
And Skylar's got her tapping, and this referee is just
Well,
more worried about Holiday and Leary.
Well, Skylar was clearly pulling Davian's hair at that moment.
I don't know, Dan. You need glasses. You're not very impartial. Up. And you get the pin. Wow.
Right. That's a marketable debut.
It is a very marketable debut.
Very marketable debut.
And I think we're back.
And we are back.
We are back. And
Now, he was able to obtain the win that night. And, Jay, I bring it back to you again. Where is the footage?
That's what I wanted to ask you.
You were the watcher of the footage as the producer of the show? Where
Somehow that SD card was not able to hold that footage.
Somehow. And
I don't know why.
And as I mentioned earlier, many people, many sources, have stated publicly they've seen you that night with Richard Holiday and some greenbacks.
Dan,
I did not talk to that gentleman at all.
I think, Dan, there should be, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, I think there should be a formal inquiry.
You can inquire all you want.
And I think we're going to have to go to the management of East Haven TV because there has to be integrity involved with this show. And there have been whispers for years, Jay. And maybe those whispers are a little bit louder than they used to be. We think we know everybody, Jay, but you know what? Money talks. And sometimes maybe we need to look at things a little bit differently. We have the Mueller investigation into Russia meddling in our election. I think, Dan, we need the Thompson investigation into this.
I certainly do.
Anything that says I'm holding on to this footage of Richard Holiday.
I notice you've been getting a lot of texts whenever Richard Holiday's name comes up.
That.
Yes, and I think there's definitely some opportunity here.
But
maybe we need to just hold on to that for now and maybe just kind of think about it the next show, and then maybe we'll make an announcement the next show.
And we do have footage.
Because Jay has a concerned look in his face.
As the audience watching this episode did see, when that phone rang or buzzed, Jay quickly hid it under the
because
table.
I don't want it.
You don't want what?
I don't want it.
As Bill said, there needs to be an investigation.
And I think it's the time to do it now is to request a formal investigation by the management team of East Haven TV into possible improprieties with Jay, and I use in air quotations, Hollywood Williams.
Definitely, because as we know, Jay Hollywood Williams in the past has had similar incidents.
Yeah, there was a long-standing investigation that kind of faded, Dan, with a certain monkey.
Nothing ever came of that.
I think that's
nothing
but
ever happened.
That does show that you have a tendency.
It's funny how
you can investigate all you want, but it's fake news.
There you go. I think we have it. So we'll table that, folks. We will look into that more. Again, great card at PVP Old School Night, and it's nice to see that they're utilizing some of that space that they have in some of these mall locations, and that's not the first match that we've heard about being in a mall or something of that nature. Mm-hmm. So a great opportunity to get more people in there. And parking was probably awesome. So
I think other companies ought to consider utilizing some of the empty space in malls now. Unfortunately, some of the bigger stores have gone by the wayside.
I know there is it eludes me right now, but up towards DeWitt, Albany area in Albany, New York, DeWitt area, there is a wrestling school inside of the mall. And for whatever reason, it eludes me the name of it, but I've stopped by there at least once or twice over the last couple of years. So there's definitely, where things change, where there's an opportunity, where something leaves an area, there's always a vacuum, and sometimes that vacuum is filled by some non-traditional, people will say sports entertainment, we will say professional wrestling. Mm-hmm. So we obviously, look forward to seeing many more shows. And again, the area is abuzz, and spring is coming, and there's going to be a lot of great stuff out there. So, what do you got, Jay? What else do you have besides the fact that you're
And certainly
getting
before,
you're muddying the waters?
Before Jay opens his yap, I just want to agree with you on that, Bill. Using different venues like this does make for a great evening out for the entire family. You go to watch the pro wrestling, and afterwards, in these locations, are various restaurants. We enjoyed one, Donovan's,
Oh yeah, definitely.
when we were up there. So it does make a great night out.
Yeah. I'll let you take it over. Final words. I'm sure you got something.
Other than that, we got a Blitzkrieg Pro Wrestling coming up too.
Oh yeah. What's that
Right.
date? Is that the 24th?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's a big weekend. You got Friday night alley fights for PAPW.
You got Beyond Wrestling at 2.
That's going to be interesting because that's all of kind of what they would do. Blitzkrieg would do with Shikara.
Right.
And that's an opportunity to see Beyond. I do not know if I'm going to be able to pull that one off.
Right.
But,
Me neither.
But there could be some opportunity there. But we look forward to it. What else you got?
That's basically it.
So do I have to run this whole show? Dan?
I hear Jay pulls a lot of things off, so I won't go there right now.
Do you have any final words?
Anybody who hasn't given professional wrestling a chance in a while, certainly come out when the Friday night fights are in attendance. Step out to Co Avenue, behind the South Shore Laundromat, and next to General Dollar, and you can have the chance to see Bill do his thing in the ring, as well as the many other trained athletes of that school.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dan. Final thoughts from myself. It's just great to see all the fans out there. Continue to support, we say independent wrestling. A lot of amazing talent out there. A lot of folks who are really putting their hearts and soul into what they do and perfecting their craft. That's just one of the many things that we're out there doing. And on a weekly, daily basis, we're always talking to people, communicating with people. We also encourage people, if you want to reach out to Jay, because Jay is the producer of the show.
Exactly. We have a group page,
Yep.
The Squared Circle. You can
Exactly.
find us there on Facebook.
Even if you want to come down and just watch the show
Absolutely.
live, we have we don't have a studio audience right now, but yeah,
You're always welcome to
it's a lot of fun. We have a good
Yep.
time. So, just my final thought: to our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to the tragedy in
Absolutely.
Florida. I hate to say it, another school shooting. Let's
senseless. These things just keep happening. Something needs to be done about it. And that's
Yeah.
what I've got to say on that subject.
That's it. I think you said it best right there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So
I'm Hollywood J. Williams. You got anything else?
What I got, you can't handle.
I'm
The professor.
the Professor Bill Thompson, William Thompson, or Ref Will. Good night
Slick
and
Willie.
enjoy the show.
Yep. See you next week.